All right, what's up? Welcome to the Alex Olinger podcast. We're on, I think this is episode 15. And you know what I did not do before this episode? I did not bring my drink that I was drinking over here. And I could see it across the room on my desk. But I'm on the couch right now, and I don't want to go all the way across the room. So, I might stop halfway through to grab the drink and pause it, and chop this thing up, but I don't really want to do that right now. So what's been going on with me? I don't know. Let's start out with the cat, since I do that every episode because he's here. He's always here because he's a cat. Like I said, I think I said last week, he's been on a diet, and he's being a real asshole about it. I don't know. Cats are like, it's almost like living with like a really mean celebrity that's like washed up, and he thinks he's the shit, but deep down you're like paying his rent. I went in, I just got back from the grocery store and I went in to put the stuff away. This dude like tripped me because I went into the pantry to put soup in there and I didn't grab his food. He stuck his hand out and clawed my foot, and I fell over my own fucking foot. He's being a real dick, and it's like, dude, I'm doing this for your health. I'm not doing it to like laugh in your face. I'm sorry that apparently the cat food that's like dry cat food is mostly carbs, and nobody tells anybody that, but it is like serving you pasta every day. I'm sorry I was giving you like 2.5 bowls of pasta a day and then wondering why you got fat. But there's no reason to like claw me or meow for like 2 hours a night. It's a pain in the ass, and I hope he starts losing weight or goes into ketosis or whatever, and he can like drop it and get over it. But it's going to take a couple months. But I'm not playing his games. He's actually got the zoomies right now. He's like shaking his butt and clawing out the floor and like trying to fight like bugs and stuff that aren't there. At least I hope there's no bugs on the ground. He just lunged on something and now he's prancing around. The arrogance, he like in his head he thinks he's a tiger. You can tell by the way he walks around, and he's not. Like I could pick him up and throw him out the window or something. So far, All right. I wouldn't do that to the cat. Anyways, what did I do today? Well, first off, it's MLK Day tomorrow. Give it up for MLK. If you're driving, take your hands off the wheel and clap. That's what you should do. Clap for MLK. Going all the way and doing the right thing and being a man and sticking up for it. Clap it up for him, and none of this like bullshit online slander that is surfaced on the internet where people will like go back 50 years and be like, hey, this guy actually like cheated on his wife, so we need to re-examine what the legacy really means. And it's like, no, he did that to his wife. It was between him and his wife and his immediate family. It's none of your business. Just take the good thing that he did and drop it. Like I just don't get why in the society we like can't celebrate people and let them be nuanced. I get it with the P. Diddy thing, Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein. The list goes on of real evil people. But a dude who's out here just slinging dick, that's between him and his lady. Okay? It didn't happen to you, so why don't you drop it? That's how I feel about it. Just take the fact that he helped end segregation in the U.S. I feel like that's way more lofty of an accomplishment than cheating on your wife is a sin. But that's just me. I'm not a white lady, a white liberal from New York with a laptop. So what do I know? You know what I mean? I'm not 40 and single, drinking lattes and studying the history of clay pots. So what the fuck would I know about that? But maybe, I don't know, celebrate the guy. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he got rid of segregation, and I'm happy that I have a day off work. And if you get the day off, you should be happy too. You know, that's between him and Coretta. I'm not Coretta. I didn't agree to be married to the guy. I never even met him. So it's not something I'm going to be tripping about while my cat's on a diet and screaming at my face in the middle of the night for me to give him wet food. Which is crazy, by the way, that I'm feeding this cat wet food. Like I put it in for him like a stupid butler or like a chef at a 5-star restaurant. And lately he's been like eating the food out of my hands as I try to put it in the bowl. And it's getting on my nerves. And it's my girlfriend's cat. It was originally hers. She brought it in. Now it's both of our cats. He's my stepson. And she's closer to him, historically speaking. She got him when he was a baby. But even she's getting pissed off too. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm going to play GameCube tonight. I'm burning it out. I don't care. I'm coming off, people, listen. If you're Robert Tabbitt, basically, the only one who listens to my podcast. By the way, shout out to Robert Tabbitt and his channel, Yeah, That's Something. Shout out to that psycho fucking Scorsese level brain where he's just shitting out sketches every single week. At a certain point, people, it doesn't even matter if you like him or not. The fact that he has a new idea every week and he keeps filming it is kind of insane, and you should give him credit for that. I don't know what he does, I don't know what Robert does in his spare time. The world will never know. I don't know what like electrical outlet in his house he's plugging himself into to keep himself up at night. I don't know what like vat of superhuman oil he's sleeping in, you know, like Luke Skywalker in, what was it, The Empire Strikes Back, after they save him from the wilderness in Hoth and he's just floating in that tub of liquid with the gas mask. That's how I imagine Robert sleeps. But you should check out his channel. Yeah, That's Something. And also props to him for listening to this podcast and actually giving some amount of feedback on it. You know, I appreciate that because I think this gets about 4 views. I don't know who the other 3 are. I'll let you in on a secret. One of them's me. So it's me and Robert and then 2 other random people, you know. But dude, tonight, I don't really care, man. I'm playing GameCube. I got a headache. I don't know where the headache came from. I'm coming off a really just continued a bad week of comedy, you know, and those stretches are going to happen. But this one was really, really something. Last weekend, I had 3 out of the 4 shows I was scheduled for just canceled because of playoff football. And I guess Mark Norman was across the street from the one show I was at, so like nobody showed up because they were all watching Mark Norman drop by at like local shows. And this week, you know, was like kind of, it wasn't like a bomb fest, man, but I had one of those sets at East where like immediately I said, I got a big pop at the beginning with like a crowd work kind of thing, and then I went into my bits and it's just silence. And not just like we're like looking forward to what he has to say. It was silence of like, why did he say that? And then I just had to go into crowd work for the last 4 minutes and just be like, would you guys fuck a short guy? And I was just asking all different people in the room if they would fuck a short guy, and ended up doing really well, you know. But it was one of those sets where it's like, dude, I need to figure out how to bring some sort of idea to hot young white people in Austin. It's a culture that I don't relate to and I don't get, and I haven't been involved with or invited. It's like doing stand-up at a party that you clearly would not be invited to, and you look out in the crowd and you start saying things, and you realize you're like, oh, none of us would hang out or run into each other if we were just living our own lives. It was one of those gigs, and I was up there because I'd been cleaning the apartment with my girlfriend, and we were having a good time. I started playing Johnny Cash records. I got a little drunk. Then I go over there, and that starts like wearing off, and I'm kind of in that like half drunk, half not state. And then that was going on, and I had a rough set. And then the comic after me, she gets up and she makes a comment about like my fucking mental health, or she just says, "Give it up for him. He's having a really bad time." And the whole room just exploded. And then I just had to sit there to myself and be like, fuck, what the hell just happened? And it's not like I didn't deserve it, you know? But she like mentioned one of my bits. She's like, he said women should be meaner, so I'm going to be meaner. And I wanted to be like, that's not entirely what I meant by the new bit that I'm working on that's not completed yet. But I guess what I'm saying on stage, you just, as a comic, just take it all completely literally and just assume that I have my mind made up verbatim and there should be no error when it comes out. I got you. I get it. You know, but you're right. She was right. Didn't have a great set. You make fun of me so you can get the room back to where it needs to be. That's my fault. I'll take the L. I'll take it. And I did. And then I went over to Speakeasy, and there weren't a ton of people in the room. But something happened that was cool, where because I just had been bombing so much, it just all broke down. And I got back to that place where I started just kind of really like expressing myself from the gut instead of doing what I thought comedy should be. And all the bits came out way better. And for 6 minutes of my like 8-minute set, I was in a really, really, really good groove, and I was like crushing. And it helped. It made me feel a lot better, but I'm still, I don't know. Today I got a headache. I'm still in the throes mentally of processing what this last week has been for comedy. I'm still in the process of developing it, and it's good. I think it's a good thing to be constantly in the process of developing yourself, even if you have an act, or even if you, I don't know, whatever job you're doing. I think it should be a little bit new every day. You should try it a little bit newer every day and keep digging and keep looking. But I'm not going to lie and say that that's not completely fucking exhausting. And I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not on a diet. And I'm not going to lie and say that I don't still support MLK, even after the news that, you know, whatever blogger that was that brought that up, I think that had to have been a white lady. That's such a rich white lady thing to do. To try to like make it seem like you're doing good for a bunch of people, but really what you're doing is taking one of the most prominent historical positive black figureheads and throwing a little shade and a little stank on his name. So now that people can't look at it the same way. Rich white lady thing to do. I don't know who started that or who dug that up or who decided to make that public. And I don't know. I'm not in the black community, but I feel like amongst them, people might have been like, you know, leave that one alone. This is like a big deal for us. Maybe don't bring up personal matters about his relationship with his wife 50 years after the fact. Wild to me. Yeah, but I had a good set. And today was an all right day. I slept till like 10 a.m., took a cold shower when I woke up. Felt good about that because I've been slacking off on that. And then I laid in bed just butt-ass naked. And I read this book I've been working on for like 5 straight hours. And I got through like 200 pages. It's a pretty big book. I mean, the pages aren't short, but I got through about 200 pages. I don't know if that's reading quickly or what, you know. But my brain jumps around. I have to reread paragraphs a lot, even though I love reading. You don't have to do something fast to prove that you love it, you know. But I did that, and I don't know if I'm gonna do that again, because that reading is good for about an hour, hour and a half a day. You know, that's kind of where I'm at. Around 2, I started to get a headache, and then the story's like pretty dramatic and dark, and I was just like in this character's world, just in my bed, and eventually it hit like 4 or 5 p.m. You know, I was like, dude, I have to go out and do something. I'm reading about this like character who's like a drug addict, and you can feel the tension in the book, and you can kind of feel things spiraling, just wondering if something good is going to happen. But if something good happens, it's like 200 pages from now, then that's going to take my whole day. You know what I mean? I don't want to be doing all that. And I just kind of shut the book at a weird part and just felt kind of like nasty. I don't know. I got to be honest. Maybe I'm a little hungover and I don't realize it. You know? Maybe I hit the sauce a little too hard yesterday and last night, and now I got a headache, and now I got to pay for it. What do you think about that, cat? The cat's loafing right now. He's just on the ground loafing. Sometimes I wish I had the life of a house cat. You know, as long as nobody was mean to me. I swear that he just sits all day and looks out the window. Honestly, not a bad gig. Just watching traffic. You know, I like doing that too. I kind of love watching traffic. You ever just like, you know, you ever just do nothing? Propose that to people? That's such like you get shamed for that in our culture. I think I talked about this last week, but let's continue to elaborate on it. I mean, just doing nothing, though. That's like a human thing to do. That was one of the first things we were able to do was nothing. You know, there was a time in society where it didn't even matter if you were autistic or neurodivergent, you know, because you just had a hut and a stick. That's all you had. How do you know he's autistic? I don't know. The guy's got like a lot of rocks. He's really into rocks. I don't know why he needs all those rocks. But you could be like, hey, we got a neighborhood here, and I'm the rock guy. I got a lot of them. I got different colors, different sizes. You know, you think you're good because you don't need rocks. Well, let me tell you something, buddy. What a rock could do for you. You can skip it across the river. You can chuck it at your neighbor. You know what I mean? You can use a rock to break other rocks. You know, who would have thought you could do that? You could use a rock to smash fruit, open a coconut. That's like kind of what it was back in the day. I think there was actually, this is crazy. There was like a ancient civilization they found. It was like a group of secluded island people, so they weren't in contact with the modern world. But when they came upon them, they found that they had a form of currency, and the currency was actually like really big rocks that were just like carved into the shape of donuts. And they found a bunch of them at like the bottom of the seabed by this island. I mean, that's what people were working with for a time. And now we live in modern society where you got to juggle wars and the economy, getting Social Security slashed, your shitty job, your annoying boss, you know. You got to deal with all those things. When back in the day, you know, you didn't even have to wear pants. Think about that as a luxury. You get to an island, they're like, none of us wear pants here. We just don't do that. And everybody's like, you're a savage. Why don't you wear pants? Because we're not going to wear pants because no one wants us to. So you can turn your boat around and go to where pants are. But right here on this island, no pants. Also, our money, a bunch of rocks that are too big to move. So we don't really have Wall Street here. We don't really have a great economy. Everybody's got... Actually, that's not a bad idea. It helps with greed. How rich do you want to be if the money is rocks? I mean, you have too many rocks, you can't move. What's the point of being a banker if your bank is just a bunch of rocks? You know, how are you going to trade and sell and barter things? You can't. Whew. All right. The fuck am I talking about? A good question. What the fuck am I talking about? Now might be a good time for me to get my drink, I think. All right, America. All right, Robert Tabbitt. All right, possibly Maddie Weiner. All right, hold on. I'm gonna get my drink. I'll fucking edit this and post. All right, I'm back. Yeah, there it is. I can see the sound waves on the recording. That's good. I'm back here. Let me take a little sip. Can you hear that swallow? Can you hear it on the mic? I don't know. I'm kind of... Oh, shit. That's disgusting. I just, like, burped into the microphone. Okay. It's a soda water. It's actually a hop water. It's really good. It, like, tastes kind of hoppy, like beer, but has, like, zero alcohol, zero gluten in it. I'll crush, like, 8 of these. You know what I mean? Because it kind of makes you feel like you're drinking, but you don't get drunk and you don't get a hangover. It's good shit, man. It's nice. Yeah, I don't know. I have like a fascination with cavemen. I like to personify them and put them in other scenarios. Like, because I think like people have been going through kind of pretty much similar situations and struggles since the beginning of time. We like to try to make ourselves look like we're different. But I think, you know, similar things, ordinary things. Like there's like a caveman and a cave wife. You know what I mean? They get divorced. At a certain point, a caveman was sitting there just like, dude, at the caveman bar, just hunched over, like crying. Just like, the bitch took half my rocks, man. I hate her. And what did she move in? She moved in with Jerry. Why? Because Jerry's got a nice stick. What does Jerry have that I don't have? A stick. I got a fire. You know. We're windproof, rainproof. I mean, the hut is nice. You know. It's like they're always just trying to trade up. These cave women trying to trade up. Jerry's got what? A stick and like a goat or something? That's all he's got. How does that make Jerry better than me? Jerry's not even nice to her, you know? Jerry's a dick, you know, and this lady she's a gold digger. She's a rock digger. Dumb rock diggers. Dumb lady caveman digging up my rocks. You know it's like the end of the podcast, too, when I start singing or talking about cavemen. That's how you know I'm slowing down. How many bars have I done? Done around 7:19. You know, I'm gonna tell you guys something. You know, at the end of every podcast, I'm gonna get dramatic. How about this? Well, I'm not gonna get dramatic yet. We'll do another album review. Bob Dylan, Bootleg Series 15. I just got it on vinyl. It's a record with him and Johnny Cash, and it rips. It's amazing because Johnny's salt of the earth kind of country presence and style brings Dylan down to earth a little bit as well. And Dylan's kind of out there-ness and cool energy kind of makes Johnny Cash a little bit more humorous and a little looser with his presence. So there's a couple tracks that they recorded together, and they have like the warm-up tracks with them like talking shit to each other and laughing about it, and it's a good listen. I mean, they sound like, you know, you're like a top-level artist when it's entertaining to listen to you mess up a song and just laugh with Johnny Cash about it. That's how cool it is. And then they got audio recordings from the Johnny Cash show where Dylan was on it. He covers a couple Johnny Cash tunes. It's in the time frame when Dylan was around, like going country. Dylan released like Nashville Skyline after John Wesley Harding, I think. And then there's a couple of tracks at the end of the album with Bob Dylan and Earl Scruggs, who's widely agreed to be the greatest bluegrass player of all time. And they have like audio of Earl Scruggs. They're interviewing him about if he's excited or nervous to play with Bob Dylan. And they play some songs together. And they're quite frankly fucking sick. It's like really good. Because I'm telling you, these low-down country bluegrass guys, they kind of level Dylan out. And Dylan's singing less like Dylan-y and more normally. And, you know, he's got his voice kind of in check. And he's not... The songs aren't like really weird and abstract. And they make sense. Just some songs about girls or living life. And you got a dude ripping on the banjo. So that's the album. It's Bob Dylan, I think Bootleg Series 15. It's got, I hope that's the album name. I'm not even going to go to my room to look at it. I hope that's the name. And they actually, you know, you check the songs on it. If you're looking it up, it's got the ones with Earl Scruggs and Johnny Cash. So that's how I'm going to end the podcast today. On a great album. Listen to the album. And then I'll do this book I finish. If it doesn't make me jump off a roof, I'll do a review of that one too. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your week, okay? Have a good week. And don't get down. Don't get sad. You know? Keep your head up. It's MLK on Monday. Well, fuck it. It's MLK week. Enjoy yourselves.